Good evening, everyone. Julie here. Welcome to my channel. This video, I've done another one tonight for my Bible study, but this one is going to be some child advocacy, or actually this one is going to be on human trafficking. So I was at the human trafficking here tonight. I live in Pensacola, Florida, and the reason I'm telling you where I live is I don't necessarily usually say where I live, but I have some statistics from my town, which is not a huge town. It's not a small town, but it's not a huge town either. It's way smaller than we live in the Florida Panhandle. We're not big like Miami or Tampa or Jacksonville. Those are all way bigger than us. So we're a lot smaller community than any of those. So, if you look in my videos, you will see I've done different videos on trafficking and knowing the signs of drugs. A lot of people who are trafficked, the traffickers use drugs to keep them under control. There's how to notice signs of child abuse. So many different things that are on my YouTube channel. I do so many different things there. You'll find videos where I unbox Temu. When Mom and I get Temu, I sell Avon. I travel when I travel. So there's a bunch of different videos there, inspirational, and all that kind of stuff. So there's plenty of videos to choose from. But there's also the child advocacy ones that I'm going to start sharing more of. I try to share them, but some of them don't really get many views. But I learned one thing. One of the things we want to do is be vocal. And if I keep sharing, it's going to reach somebody. So, the one I'm going to share today is Grooming Behaviors of Predators. This pamphlet was they had a table at the Human Trafficking Summit that's called to Rescue Ministries. It's an awesome organization. Called to Rescue Ministries is the Gulf Coast Missing, Exploited, and Trafficked Child's Response Organization. Provides search and rescue response, case management, intelligence collection operations, and education, training, and certification. So this is what the back of the pamphlet looks like. If you're interested in any of this information, there's our contact information. This is primarily in the Gulf Coast area, but they have gone to Vegas and other places, and they've done other trainings in other states, so just to let you know. So let's start, and let me tell you a little bit about grooming, because that's how a lot of things start, okay? Grooming is the manipulative behaviors that the abuser uses to gain access to potential victims, coerce them to agree to the abuse, and reduce the risk of being caught. While these tactics are used most often against younger kids, teens, and vulnerable adults, are also at risk. Grooming can take place online or in person. There's a 5-step process, okay? Step 1 is selecting a victim. Selecting a victim is the first one. In this first stage of the grooming process, the offender identifies a potential victim by selecting a minor who is vulnerable, either because of psychological or emotional reasons, or due to lack of supervision, family discord, or living in a single-parent home. The signs. A minor is compliant, trusting of adults. Minor lacks confidence or has low self-esteem. Minor is lonely, isolated, troubled, needy. Minor feels unwanted or unloved. Minor lives with a single mother, needs a father figure. Minor has a lack of supervision. One thing that I've learned in my years as a guardian ad litem volunteer and going to many child abuse seminars and trafficking seminars, the traffickers especially are looking for somebody who they can manipulate, somebody who's lonely, somebody's looking somebody. If you go to the mall, they're not going to be looking for the kid they're going to be looking for the kid that's not going to make eye contact. They're going to be the kid that just seems like they're lost. A lot of kids that get stuck in trafficking, they don't have an adult at home that is either supervising them, or they feel unloved. They're trying to escape other situations. One of a lot of kids that fall victim to trafficking have already been victims of sexual abuse. So, I've heard a lot of stories of that. So, you want to just really kind of keep an eye out. Step 2 is gaining access and isolating the minor. The predator will focus on gaining access to the minor either through working or volunteering in youth-serving organizations or by gaining the trust of the minor's guardians. Once access is gained, the perpetrator will attempt to separate the minor from peers and adults to begin the grooming process in private. This may involve driving them places alone, taking them on outings or overnight stays, and or emotionally distancing them from family and friends. And folks, there's a lot of it. There's been adults that have really preyed on children, gained their parents, and this is a good friend to the family. Go ahead and take them, for that trip or whatever. It does happen. And it's sometimes people you would never think would be a predator. That's why you have to be so careful. You never really know some people. Step 3, developing trust. The predator works to gain the trust of the minor and significant adults in their lives. It should be noted that this is part of the process. The perpetrator is also grooming the minor's family, the organizations in which they may be accessing the child, and their community in an attempt to gain their trust so they can have easy access to the minor without suspicion. The signs: appears charming, nice, likable, has a good reputation, pillar of the community, is affectionate, loving with minor, gives minor attention, compliments, exhibits favoritism, special relationship with minor, spends time with minor, communicating often, texting, phone calls, emails, engages in childlike activities, stories, games, sports, music, gives minor rewards, privileges, gifts, toys, treats, money, trips, provides minors with drugs and alcohol. And that's real big in the trafficking world. They keep them drugged up where they can control them. But you will also see in some of the previous trainings that I've been to, the biggest thing right now is they're trafficking our children through the internet, video games, social media apps, all these things. Folks, your child has a tool that could lead to so much trouble for them. And one of the people at the summit tonight said a lot of the bad stuff happens at night. Okay, take those phones, put a charging station in your bedroom, and turn the phones off for the night because you don't want them on, because you don't want to hear them going off. Don't let those children have those phones late at night, folks. Children don't understand that everyone they talk to on the internet, they literally think that person they're talking to is exactly what they say they are, when it could be an adult posing as a child. It happens all the time, folks. They talk them into taking pictures, and then they just blackmail them into they get the pictures. They blackmail them into doing what they want. If you don't send me another picture, I'm going to tell your parents, and stuff like that. And they gain their trust online. You will also see kids, if your kid is getting gifts of money and stuff like that from somebody that you don't know, you need to find out how that's happening. Just saying, that's how a lot of kids, they get online, the person sends them a gift card, or it might be somebody they know personally, gives them a new phone or gives them something. Folks, those are all red flags, and you got to watch out for that. Step 4, desensitizing the child. This stage usually happens right before abuse occurs. The predator prepares the minor for abuse by desensitizing them to sexual content and increases non-sexual touch. The signs: talks about sexual things they have done, uses inappropriate sexual language, dirty jokes, teaches minor sexual education, use of an accidental touching, distraction while touching, watches the minor undressing, exposes their own naked body to the minor, i.e. changing, showering, shows minor pornography, seemingly innocent contact, i.e. tickling, hugging, sitting on lap, desensitizes the minor to touch, increasing sexual touching. So, folks, you got to protect your children against this stuff. Stage 5, maintenance behavior. Predator behavior is aimed at continuing the abuse and avoiding detection, often by manipulating the minor into feeling guilty or responsible for the abuse. And that's what I was telling you about earlier. The signs. Encourages secrets and secret keeping. Tells minor, I love you, you're special. Gives minor rewards or bribes not to tell. Persuades minor the sexual abuse was acceptable, normal behavior. Provides minor with misstated moral standards regarding touch. Makes minor feel responsible for the abuse. Best ways to protect your child. Give them the power to say no. Talk and listen to them often. No secrets. Once they begin, the line gets blurred. Be a visible parent. Trust your gut. And that's it. That's the little pamphlet I got. But I had a couple other things I wanted to read to you. This is from another thing, and it's just another thing saying some signs to watch of human trafficking. Use these signs to identify a potential victim of the modern-day slavery human trafficking. They are accompanied by a controlling person and do not speak on his or her own behalf, but instead defer to another person. That's being controlled by another person. Controlled movement. They are transported to or from work or live and work at the same place. They show signs that their movements are being controlled. Lack of earnings. They are unable to keep his or her earnings and forced to turn it over to another person. In many cases, the person owes a debt and they are working to pay off. And I've seen many of the people that are in trafficking, the pimp that is trafficking them out, they get the money. They give and they say, this is money is what you owe me for letting you live here, for letting you do this, for providing you with food and all of that. So, that's where their money goes. And when they start doing things, when they start being abused very badly. Okay, let's get back to that. Lack of official identification. They are not in possession of their passports, identification, or legal documents. Overly fearful, depressed, or submissive. They are frightened to talk to outsiders and authorities since they are closely monitored and controlled by their traffickers. They may be fearful, anxious, depressed, overly submissive, and may avoid contact. Deceived by a false job offer. Their actual job is different from the advertised job they had accepted. Feelings of being trapped. They have expressed that they are unable to leave their living or employment situation. If you suspect it, report it. There's all kinds of hotlines, guys. Local action and global difference. Human trafficking, global statistics. There are millions enslaved in the world today. Human trafficking generates an estimated U.S. $150.2 billion per year. Over 70% of detected human trafficking victims are women and girls. Roughly 1 in 4 human trafficking victims are children. USA statistics. Human trafficking is happening in all 50 states. 45,000 cases of human trafficking have been reported in the USA alone. 1 in 7 runaway children reported to NCME in 2018 were likely sex trafficking victims. 1 in 8 victims identified previously were male. 1 in 6 youth has sent nude photos from their phone. And Florida is the 3rd in human trafficking in the USA. So that's an eye opener for any of my friends out there, that you need to be aware of. Together we can see modern day slavery abolished in our generation. There's so many different organizations out there. There were many different organizations here in my area just tonight that do stuff to help. So for those of you who are on my channel that live here and I see frequently or unfrequently, but that, you personally see me, not just on the internet, I wanted to give you some information on Pensacola Human Trafficking Task Force. 200 confirmed cases of child sexual exploitation in 2023. That's our DCF annual report. Vulnerabilities most prevalent: drug addiction, homelessness, and runaway youth. Family trafficking, somebody in your family trafficking, is the number one form of trafficking in Pensacola. Pensacola top areas for human trafficking: Cervantes Street, Olive Road, Highway 29, and the I-10 corridor. So I just wanted to give you those details, which are insane. But I always, whenever I go to one of these classes or summits, I want to help so bad. I just really want to just, I want to be a voice. And that's why I do these videos on trafficking, child abuse, and all of that. As a guardian ad litem volunteer for the state of Florida, and I've been one for almost 12 years, you see so much, guys. You just see so much. And children are our greatest gift, the greatest gift. So I encourage all of you to somehow get involved in keeping our children safe. You don't even have to be a parent. You just have to be a concerned citizen. Be on the lookout. Watch for the signs I told you about. If you see something fishy, just say something to somebody. In Florida, in the state of Florida, adults are mandated reporters. So if you see it, you legally have to report it. And there's a lot of states like that, and it's the right thing to do. So, I've had people in the restaurant that I work in one time, they felt like children were being abused, and the customers called the cops on the people that were there in the restaurant eating. So they felt that something wasn't right. Somebody felt that something, and they actually called the cops. And on the trafficking line, at least our area one, you can report stuff anonymously. So, just keep that in mind. But that's it for the video tonight. If this video helps you, please let me know. If you'd like to see more videos like this, also please let me know. I want to make sure that I'm doing something meaningful and to help protect children. I thank you so much for your time and being here with me tonight. And stay safe and help keep our children safe. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Bye-bye.